Jagudev, welcome back again. So today you see the weather how it is. It's rainy, cloudy, but it's so nice actually. You see, you can smell really the freshness, the earth. When you go out in the balcony, you can smell the earth itself. It's really a nice smell. Actually, you see, this morning I was watching again the movie on Srila Prabhupada. If you have not watched it, it's really a wonderful movie because it gives you a different perspective of Srila Prabhupada, and it's actually very inspiring to see a 70-year-old man reaching America with practically nothing actually, and build up his movement, in the time of hippies, try to teach them a different culture, bring Krishna to these people. It's really amazing to see how he built up what his guru have wished for him. It took him 30 years till he go to America, and it's amazing how the word of his guru really resonate inside of him. When he was there, he had a heart attack, and the people were praying, the devotee was praying, and he prayed to his guru Maharaj and said, I have come here to do your will, to do what you have asked me, to bring Krishna to them. And if you wish that I stay, I will carry on. And of course that mission was still young, and Bhagwan graced him for that. And one next moment which was very wonderful was when he was just before he passed, and when he was saying, I came to your country, I came to America with just a symbol, and now you all are chanting the name of Krishna, and I consider this blessed, and that this was my life purpose. I have fulfilled what my Guru Maharaj have asked me, and I have fulfilled that what is my dharma. What great joy else there is, but that satisfaction really, that you have fulfilled your life purpose itself. Such a blessed soul and a great soul, and very inspiring actually, because it gives you a different, like I said, a different perspective of Srila Prabhupada, So it was very touching. So I'll ask Jai Gopal to ask your question.
Guruji, how can we see the Lord shining through a person who makes us angry or who is violent towards us?
Look, it is very difficult because what you have programmed your mind to see. When you look at the person in front of you, even if you know that God resides within him or her, automatically what that person have done to you, will react upon. You will not feel great joy to see that person. You will not feel enthusiasm to be around such person. But actually, it is a challenge, to which you put towards yourself. Like there was a saying that Jesus said, "What the use of loving those who you love already?" Because you would not understand what is love. So, if somebody have harmed you, and really somebody is difficult to be among, actually it is a challenge which God have put to you to see how much you can bear it. So how much you can challenge yourself, if that is stopping you, which is here itself, then how would you be able to transcend that? So what you have to do, I'd say that it is not that easy, but sometimes you have to remind yourself what is inside of that person. That what is inside of the person, that Atma which is inside, is the same inside of you. Of course, we don't see it in that way. When you are angry, when you feel that that person is nerving you, but reflect upon that. Reflect what is the lesson behind that. You see, I'll tell you something. More you see such person, more you get angry. More the anger inside of you will accumulate. More it becomes difficult to handle. Because the moment the mere thinking of that person will put you in a state of stress, nervosity, and really anger. Are you changing, really? No, you're not changing. So if you learn, firstly, to learn to ignore the person. I'm not telling you to accept the person straight away how they are. First, learn to ignore the person. Even if it is there and the person is irritating you, just make as if the person doesn't exist. Even if they are talking, just block your hearing or just go and do something else. You don't need to become the same as that person is. The best is to walk away or just ignore the person. It's like, you see, in your life, for sure there is things which were nerving to you, and you have learned to ignore it and move forward with your life. Does that thing which were nerving you really still troubling you? No, it doesn't. The same thing with people. You see, if you sit there and entertain their delusion, of course you're taking it with you. So how you are, in the company of the people that you keep around you and you really treasure, because you see, when you say somebody is nerving you, making you angry, that means you are taking that negativity from that person, or you are seeing that person as a negative aspect. So you are taking that negativity and make it yours. So when you take that negativity and make it yours, automatically you will get angry with it. Actually, you're not angry really with that person, you're angry with yourself, because you are acting in that way. So it is for that sake of the self, we also act in that way. So in the Upanishad it said that whatever we do it for the sake of the self. So that anger also happened in the state of the self. So because you have taken it upon, that negativity from that person upon you, of course you start to act the same way. So best is to, like I said to you, to ignore it. After some time, by ignoring it, it will become so natural. Even if that person is talking vaya and the person is irritating you, you will not get irritated by that. Because you are not taking what he's giving you. Because if you take what he's giving you, then you are participating into that. Then you will get angry. Again, like I said, you say in your question itself, why, what is the question, please?
How can we see the Lord shining through us?
How can we see the Lord shining through that person, you see? So, firstly, you're seeing only the outside of the person. Of course, you will not yet see the Lord. If you have not seen the Lord seated inside of yourself, how would you see it? Of course, logically, you know about it. Because you have read about it, you have heard about it, you know about it. But yet, You are so much focused on the negativity of that person. This is what you have to change. Stop focusing upon the negativity of that person. Focusing firstly on the self, which, the one which resides within that person. When you focus on that which is residing, knowing that what is residing again in that person also reside inside of you. That Atma which is inside of you, in the same Atma inside of them. So then it will not affect you. Then you are not taking something which is outside, but you are looking something from deep within. Because deep within, your Atma don't have enmity towards anybody. So you can try this, it will help you.
Jai Gurudev Dev Guruji, in the past yugas, it seems that whenever somebody wants something, he just does a yagna and it is done. Are today's spiritual practices like OM Chanting and Atma Kriya Yoga as powerful as then? Can OM Chanting today really heal someone physically?
Yes. You see, there is so many experience of people which have been healed through OM Chanting. Because you see, we are working with a universal vibration. Of course, you see, well, like you said in your question, the yogi, they will do a yagna and then straight away their things will be fulfilled. But this is wrong, because they are doing a yagna for a specific purpose, you see. They are doing a yagna for a selfish motive. Very often, they were doing these sacrifices for selfish motive, and of course the result will be also selfish. Do you think people get satisfied when whatever they ask they get? No, they will never be satisfied. So it's of course different, when we talk about OM Chanting, because you see, like I said yesterday, nobody likes to suffer. So when you do OM Chanting, of course it's releasing that vibration, is releasing and transform the whole karmic aspect inside of the person. You see, when we do OM Chanting, very often people think that, okay, yes, we just go there and just chant OM. No, you see, it's not, what is happening when you are chanting, when you are in the circle and the OM Chanting is being conducted. It's not just you're chanting, it's not just let me go there and have fun. No, there is such a great amount of energy. Of course, you are working, like I said, you are working with the primordial sound itself. So that amount of energy which that generate, of course, it can transform everything. But don't expect that it will happen in one go, because you must have faith. First, like I always say, faith is a very big and very important element into that. I see, because very often people say, I've been doing it, I did 1 time, 2 times, but yet I don't feel anything, I don't, nothing happened. Because people expect a magic wand. They want something, here, you get it. If God will fulfill that so easily, you will take it for granted. You will not really appreciate, So when you're doing OM Chanting, everything is possible. All the wishes, all the desire that you have, everything have the capacity to be fulfilled and to manifest, But you must believe into it. Not just go and do it, for the sake of fun. Because you see, when I decided to give the OM Chanting, because it is such a old technique which have been forgotten into this world. So the rishis and the yogis, they are also very joyful for that. So that's why when you are doing that, you have the blessing of all these great beings also there. And these beings, they are there for only one thing, that you attain the lotus feet of the Lord, that you grow also spiritually. Of course they will cure your illness, they will make things happen inside of you, make you feel the presence of the divine, so that you can open up to only one reality, to attain the feet of God. There's nothing else, So many healings, there is, I don't know whether Swami Pritala or Jai Gopal is writing, about it, but there is many healings. I have some pictures also people have sent me, and many things also. So.
Guruji, how does keeping secrets affect one's life, and what is their role?
Keeping secret. Actually, keeping secret have two roles actually. One, how you say, affect one life. No? So firstly, why does somebody entrust you with a secret? Somebody entrusts you with a secret because they feel close to you. They trust you. They believe in you. So they tell you. They open up their heart. They share the most intimate things which they have kept inside of them with you. And of course, that secret, normally, you should treasure it, because you should honor really that friendship, that trust which someone have given unto you. Betraying that trust will make yourself even the worst kind of person. And other kind, let's say secret, because you see, if you have a dear friend who have something dear, to that person, and yet, like I said to you, due to that trust, they gave you that secret. For you, it's easy. You can just treasure it inside of you and honor that, like I said, that trust with that person have given you. But for a person to have a secret, let's say you have a certain secret, what does that do to you? Firstly, it will make you restless. It makes you nervous. Because always inside, at the back of your mind, you're hiding something. You have something. You are not true, firstly, towards, let's say, if it is a personal secret for yourself, you can't tell it to everybody. Of course, you feel that pressure inside of you, that inner stress inside of you. But how can I, share it, That's why people entrust somebody else with a secret, because once you have taken that, what is creating the pressure inside of you, you have taken it out of you. It's not that you have taken that pressure and give it to somebody else, because that person, even if that person knows that secret, the person will not have that same stress as the person which is holding that secret. So what does it do? It is making you stress firstly, and when it makes you stress, you don't feel at ease. So it's true, everybody have their own personal things. It's not that you have to tell everything openly to everybody. You have your personal, not secret, I will say, personal things that you keep for yourself. But you just need to relax with it. So you should not put a name to it. Oh, it's a secret that I have to hide. But if somebody happened, that big catastrophe will happen. No, you don't need to put stress to it. Because you see, one thing, you have a secret only when you're doing something wrong. Look, big businessmen, big rich people, whatever, they all have secret in their life. Why do you think they have secret in their life? Because they know deeply they are doing something wrong. And they have to hide it. You see, the amount of energy that one have to hide a secret is a lot, actually. Because firstly, you have to lie. And lying, as you know very well, doesn't keep on the same story all the time. So you have to be a very good liar to be able to keep the same story all the time. You see, when you lie about something, your mind doesn't register. So sooner or later, you forget about that story that you have tell. So then what happened? You know what happened. Then you tell another story. So to the same person you tell two free stories, then what happened? There is stress completely, So you have done something wrong. You have, tried to keep something hidden. So you don't feel at ease with yourself. So very often people become so unhappy about it. They become unhappy and they don't feel free in their life. So again, like I said, it's not, not bad to have certain personal things that you yourself know about yourself, and you keep it, and you just need to relax with that. So it's different. So like I said, everybody have a little secret of their own, and it is not a sin or a big things about it, So, like I said earlier, if somebody have entrust you with something personal, learn to keep it due to that trust and to that relationship that person have in you. So get to know about that deepness of that trust which somebody have placed inside of you. That's why it is not really a secret, but it is an untrusted ideas who have given to you to look after. So.
Dear Guruji, trying to know more about my ishtadev, I search online and find many stories that seem made up or contradictory to other stories. Is any story useful, even if it is fake, or should I only focus to the real ones?
Who is yesterday? Look, your question is a bit vast because it don't really mention anything what you want to ask. But I presumably, what I can imagine you're asking, which story is real. You see, look, what you have to do is to concentrate on your ishtadev. Whether the story is real or not real, you will never know. It is history, So what have happened in the past is there. But what you can do is take any of this story, take the essence of that story. You see? And when you take the essence of that story, then you will grow into it. You will build your relation towards your ishtadev, and it will not really affect you. To see all the story that I have been telling, some are made up stories, but it teach one a deeper truth, a certain meaning inside it. It is a representative of a certain quality which is embedded inside of you. So these stories also are inspiration, so that you can truly build your relationship towards your ishtadev. So take that in that way and build that relationship with your deity like this. You have more questions? No? Okay. Jai Gurudev.